Good morning, Jets Nation. You're tuning into New York Jets News, hosted by Drew Jets, and there are 11 more days until the 2021 NFL Draft. And I thought I might as well do a mock draft, so here's a 7-round New York Jets 2021 mock draft. Quick thing to note before we begin, I did not do this on a simulator. This was just based off of where I think these players are going to be picked. I also used some player profiles as well as big boards to kind of help me throughout the way. Without further ado, let's begin the mock. At pick number 2, I have the New York Jets selecting Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU. Wilson is 6'2", 214 pounds. Now the Jets are obviously going to be taking a quarterback with this pick since we traded away Darnold. And based on recent reports and just plain skill, it sounds like Wilson is going to be the pick. Don't count out Fields though. The Jets were at a second pro day. I believe it was just due diligence. But the Vegas odds for Fields becoming a Jet recently increased, so don't count out Fields. But if I were Joe Douglas, I would pick Zach Wilson. I mean, he's super athletic. He's great at throwing on the run and under pressure. And if you just watch highlights at this guy, you can see that one of his best abilities is just turning a play that was going to be nothing into something. He just scrambles around in that backfield, then launches the ball 50 yards, and it's a touchdown. Just love Zach Wilson's ability to just turn a play into nothing to something. Wilson also fits our system like a gym. So yes, I believe Zach Wilson is going to be the New York Jets franchise quarterback for years to come. At pick 23, the New York Jets selecting Greg Newsome, cornerback from Northwestern. Newsome is 6 foot, 192 pounds. Now, corner is one of the biggest needs on a roster right now, and why not solve it in round 1? We're getting an aggressive and lockdown corner in Newsome, who only allowed 12 catches for 96 yards on 34 targets this season and also had an interception. Now, one concern for Newsome is that he's not really exactly the fastest corner available, but we are going to be running a zone system, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Now, yes, I do believe Caleb Farley is a better corner than Newsome, but I don't think he's going to drop as far as some people think. I mean, Arizona's a team that picked before the New York Jets that really needs a corner. Las Vegas really needs a corner. So I'm thinking one of those teams before the New York Jets end up snapping up Caleb Farley, or maybe a team like the New Orleans Saints ends up trading up for Caleb Farley. Either way, I just don't think Farley's going to be there at 23, which is why I have the New York Jets selecting Greg Newsome. At pick 34, the New York Jets selecting Landon Dickerson, the center and guard from Alabama. Dickerson is 6'6", 333 pounds. But Connor McGovern's play in 2020 wasn't exactly great, but we can't cut him because he still has guaranteed money on his contract. But one of the main reasons the New York Jets signed McGovern was because he can play guard and center. So I had the New York Jets drafting Dickerson to play center, and we are going to move McGovern to guard. Now, what are we getting in Dickerson? In Dickerson, we are getting a tough lineman who can block 2 people at once, and he seems like a really good locker room guy and just someone teammates love to be around. Now, Dickerson does have an injury history, an actual pretty lengthy injury history, and I don't think he's going to be able to start day 1 for the New York Jets. But this draft is more so for the long haul. This is more so for the long run. Which players are going to be able to help us out, maybe not starting day 1, but which players are going to be able to help us out in the long run, which is why the New York Jets selecting Landon Dickerson, a guy who I think is going to turn out to be an amazing NFL player. At pick 66, I have the New York Jets selecting Jabril Cox, linebacker from LSU. Cox is 6'3", 232 pounds. The Jets need some depth at linebacker. We have Mosley, Jarrad Davis, and after that, our linebacker room is in some hot water. We have Blake Cashman, but the guy can't stay on the field, so I have the Jets drafting Cox to add some depth at linebacker and maybe even getting a potential starter, because let's be real, is Jarrad Davis going to work out? Who knows? He might not even be on the team next year. And CJ Mosley is going to be traded soon. Maybe not this year, but he's going to be traded. I mean, we've seen Joe Douglas just get rid of all McCannigan's bad contracts. Mosley was the worst of them. So yeah, I definitely believe Mosley is going to be traded very soon. And this is why I have the Jets drafting Jabril Cox, because he's a guy who I think can play really well. He's super versatile. The guy can sack the quarterback as well as intercept him. He's also coming from LSU, who has a knack for developing some really good NFL talent. He's also a good coverage linebacker, something that we'll need in this new defense. At pick 86, I have the New York Jets selecting Tyler Wallace, receiver from Oklahoma State. Wallace is 5'11", 194 pounds. The Jets have to add some depth at the receiver room, and Wallace is a guy the Jets drafted because he is fast and a very good yards after catch guy. And this new Jets offense relies heavy on yards after catch plays, and Wilson also likes to throw the ball deep, and Wallace is a guy who is very good at the deep ball. He can also win the 50-50 ball, which is going to be huge. I mean, you always want receivers who can go down deep and just snag the ball and, you know, maybe even turn it upfield like you're seeing in the highlights right now. And this is something we've been seeing with the receivers we acquired this offseason. And honestly, in Joe Douglas's tenure, think about Denzel Mims, Lawrence Cager, Corey Davis, Keelan Cole. All of those guys are people who can jump up and get the 50-50 ball and are also pretty good deep threats. So some good value here at pick 86. At pick 107, I have the Jets selecting Bryce Newman, guard and tackle from Ole Miss. Newman is 6'5", 310 pounds. Newman can play both guard and tackle fairly well and is decent in the run and pass game. And if developed right, I think he can turn into a day 3 still. At pick 107, I have the New York Jets selecting Jordan Smith, edge rusher from UAB. Smith is 6'6", 255 pounds. Smith gets to the QB fast and had 12.5 sacks in 2 years at UAB. He will give the New York Jets some decent production as a backup and might even turn into a solid starter for us. At pick 154, the Jets selecting Trey McKinnon, tight end from Georgia. McKinnon is 6'4", 246 pounds. The Jets add a pass catcher and a blocker to the tight end group. McKinnon also adds some explosiveness, so the Jets were kind of lacking in their tight ends. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I don't think Ryan Griffin or Trevon Wesco will be here in 2021, so we have to add some depth to this tight end room right now. At pick 186, I have the Jets selecting Kerry Vincent, cornerback from LSU. He is 5'10", 185 pounds. Vincent is blazing fast and can play slot and outside cornerback for you. He also has some experience at safety. And the nickelback is something the Jets are going to have to address in this year's draft and in free agency, because I don't know if Vincent's going to be a guy who's going to start day 1 for you. And as of now, we haven't brought back Brian Poole, or we haven't signed any nickel corners available in free agency, so we're going to have to jump on the ball very soon on that. And at pick 226, I have the New York Jets selecting Evan McPherson, kicker from Florida. McPherson is 5'11", 185 pounds. The Jets finally solved their kicking position and drafted the best kicker in this year's NFL draft. McPherson hit 85% of his kicks at Florida and only missed 1 extra point. Yeah, I think this guy's going to be a great NFL player. Well, this is the end of the mock draft. Comment down below your thoughts on this. Let me know if you thought it was a good mock or just absolutely crap. If you are interested in watching any type of Jets news, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, like it, and, well, comment down below your thoughts on the mock. Well, I'm your host, Judy, signing off for now. See you later.